think there's great songs to listen to, and there really are great corporate worship songs. And I think there are a drastic difference between the two. So I think you need to ask, Brian says, he asked himself, can I hear the crowd corporately singing this song? And more importantly, should they? And I think you have to think about an end goal of where you're taking people. And if that song doesn't line up to where you're taking people or what you want them to focus on, negative. But I think that don't discount that there's great songs to listen to. You know what I mean? Like there's great songs that have powerful meaning to me that are about, you know, my involvement, my relationship with the Lord that are great, but aren't necessarily great songs. How do you know the difference? What's the song take you to? Where does the song leave you when it's over? And does it go self-inclusive? So, and is the song a song that would be a prayer and intercession song where you're in that mode versus a corporate song? Not to say that you shouldn't have an intercessory song in corporate worship, but it's kind of brings it back to the time and the place. You know, there's a time and a place for everything, and corporate worship, unless you really feel it's the Lord, isn't usually the time for travail and intercession. It's a time to praise. You know what I mean by that? So just ask yourself those questions. You know, do I just like this song, or should I be doing these songs? Does that make sense?
I think the thing I heard, should the congregation sing that song? I always go, can I hear the congregation singing it back to me? Now, if you do a concert like rock bands, when they have a stadium and the stadium singing the words, that's a good sign, obviously. But can I hear the congregation sing it back to me, and should they sing it back to me? Should the congregation sing, I suck God? You understand what I'm saying?
I used to be single man.
Yeah, like so you have to really think about what, well, yeah, the larger the ship, the bigger the rudder. You're steering and charging with people, and your bad day probably isn't everyone's bad day.
Right.
So as a worship leader and a songwriter, if you're a worship songwriter, I love it. Chris Coleman said this, and the phrase he said, whenever I'm writing a worship song, I'm trying to be creative, I'm trying to catch these melodies. And he said, when you're catching a melody or writing a melody, in the back of your mind, keep your congregation in mind. Some of us don't write congregation songs, and that's not wrong. It's not wrong or right. But if you want to work with a congregation, you've got to keep that in mind. And some of you are like, you know, I've had people tell me all the time, like, I don't like the song you hear them to worship. And I don't think that's a good worship song. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not a good worship song. That's like the top 5 year songs. And what they were trying to say is, I could do better because it's too simple. But if you're one of those people, you're missing the point when it comes to writing a worship song or a corporate song. Look at the Beatles, for instance. They were the simplest but most amazing melodies for their day, and that's why they were the Beatles. Everyone could sing their songs. Everyone. So when you're writing a song, keep the people in mind, keep your listener in mind. Is that
Yeah.
you want?
Ian brought up something that's really great. He said, Bill kind of has us as a group and as a church live by a mentality of a king, to be a king before men and a beggar before God. So what does that mean? Does it mean we just are always like, whatever, BS? You know what I mean? No. Well, it means that, you know, when we're leading people on a stage, we really are keeping the mindset of who you really are and who he really is. But it doesn't discount the fact of becoming that desperate person. So, you know what I mean by that? Like, to be able to express yourself through song, through whatever you're doing as a king who is not a prideful person per se, but to keep the kingship, to keep the, you know, what that you're leaking. And so you need to watch what is coming out of your mouth, what you're singing, because you want them to follow what you're leaking, which is the majesty of God or whatever. And just make sure that you don't lose the mindset of being a beggar before God, which is a good thing at the same time.